The Honorable, my Bachelor Thesis Supervisor, Pak Novi Iman Vidya Kemal, SE MSc PhD, the Honorable Sir or Madam Examiners and Lecturers, welcome to this presentation of Enhancing Efficiency via Just-in-Time Inventory Management in Greater Jakarta's Car Maintenance Service Industry. I am Albertus Dennis Laksmana and I will be presenting this case. The research background is there is an increase in the number of passenger vehicles sold in Jakarta from 2.6 million vehicles in 2017 up to 3.3 million in 2020 as reported by BPS. There is also an increase in the number of brand new vehicles sold in Indonesia from 750,000 in 2015 up to 870,000 in 2018 as reported by Gadjah. Also, automotive maintenance requires competitive advantage in the form of faster, cheaper, more reliable, and efficient services. And they achieve those by having proper inventory management using better and more efficient techniques. The first problem is there is an inefficiency and slower process as an outcome of not maintaining proper inventory. We want to identify potential defects and problems caused by not implementing proper inventory. The outcomes are in the form of waste, problems, or defects, and less output and throughput. And we want to compare the implementation, the lean or just-in-time, and its benefits in the automotive maintenance workshops in achieving efficiency. The research question is how would being lean and just-in-time benefit companies in enhancing operational efficiency in the car workshop industry? The objectives are identify how lean and just-in-time affects company performance, how to achieve the key points of being lean and just-in-time, and provide recommendations on how to effectively eliminate waste, reduce inventory levels, and increase supply chain performance. The motivation is to investigate the impacts of just-in-time inventory towards lowering defects or problems the company currently has and decreasing various costs associated with inventory management or in also increasing throughput. The contribution is to help businesses adapt newer techniques that support their inventory management system in the form of being lean and just-in-time. Firstly, what lean operation itself? The factors of being lean are three: eliminating waste, removing variability, and improving throughput. Out of those three factors, we achieve the elimination of the 7 wastes, removing several forms of variability such as poor processes, unknown demands, and incomplete specifications, and improving throughput in the form of reducing lead time, increasing cycles, and using the pull system. This graph is shown with the source of Heiser and Render of 2017. Heiser and Render also describes just-in-time as being a form of forced problem solving through focusing on throughput and reducing inventory, while Masudin and Kamara states that this methodology focuses on the material that is requested by the customer, thus using a pull system. The factors of being just-in-time as described by Heiser are 5. Firstly, supplier partnership, lean layout, lean inventory, lean scheduling, and lean quality. We want to achieve these 5 factors through the application of just-in-time. The correlation between lean and just-in-time is that we must complete the factors of firstly being lean and also the factors of being just-in-time. While as lean is the general theory of understanding and just-in-time is the theory that shows how being lean is implemented. Just-in-time itself being the right quantity by having proper levels and layout, the right timing with proper scheduling and cycles, the right inventory type or model, which is proper quality, and also supported by buyer and supplier relationships. What do we want to achieve with lean and just-in-time? The performance indicators are firstly, we want to lower total inventory costs. Secondly is lowering inventory quantity or levels. Third is lowering inventory holding costs in the form of storage and area costs. Higher inventory turnover rate with better improved cycles and scheduling. Higher throughput, lowering lead time of job completion, and also having higher customer satisfaction. The research methods are firstly, this is a quantitative descriptive research type with the research object of firstly is CV Sentra Auto, which is the company that applies just-in-time. And secondly is Palmera Indy Motor, which does not. The time of research is July to August 2021 with the data collection method of interviews, observations, and reviewing company internal data, which will be analyzed using multiple case analysis based on just-in-time theoretical basis. The steps of the multiple case analysis is firstly, we will describe the framework of how to achieve being lean and just-in-time. Then we will look through into the company information. which is the performance indicator achievements, of which how the company achieves those currently with the current company conditions, financial data, competitive advantage, and what are the examples of the company achievements. Then we will look deeper in the first case, which is the company that applies just in time. Using the previous framework, we will describe the buyer-supplier relationship, the inventory levels, the inventory variability, the cycles and scheduling, and how the company orders inventory. Next, we will also use the same framework to describe the company that does not apply just in time. After describing those, the last part is the comparison of the two results, which is the achievement of the performance indicator itself and what the examples are. This section describes the current implementation of the just-in-time framework in the first and second cases. As we can see that both cases achieve good buyer and supplier relationship, and both have decentralized inventory layouts, which is in the form of storing inventories in more than one place, and both have the same 2-day order lead time. But the difference is that the first case applies a 5-day cycle period of inventory schedule, while the second case has a 30-day monthly period inventory schedule. As a result of that, the inventory area is smaller in the first case, with a lower inventory level, having lower variability or defects, with the performance quality of higher throughput. This data shows the inventory level and also the achievements of each case, with the first case applying just in time, with quicker job lead times, the same item categories of both cases, but the first case with just in time only has 254 items in hand at one time, while as the second case has 1,500 items. Why this is be able to do so? Because the first case applies a just-in-time inventory system with a total inventory level of only 5 days, achieving an inventory cost of just 9.3 million instead of the 69 million of the second case, which has the inventory level of 30 days. This section will describe the deeper analysis of the first case of the company that applies just in time. The current system is the firstly company has determined proper inventory levels by collecting previous data from previous demand trends. The company also purchased and stocked inventory at one cycle level, therefore not all of them are purchased at the same time. The cycles are scheduled in intervals, and each inventory has a different schedule based on their current demands. And bookkeeping and recording happens every day to ensure proper levels are kept in check. The current system, as I described previously, starts with previous demand forecast, and it will moving on into setting inventory levels for each type, which is determined by firstly the demand, secondly is the order lead time of how long it is, and also lastly is the safety stock. Then the company orders it to the supplier. Afterwards, it stores the inventory just for one cycle, which is approximately 5 days, uses the inventory throughout the 5 days, and reorders it when the reorder point is reached. From this table, we can see that the first company has a monthly demand of 51 million rupiahs, while it only stores inventory at a total of only 9.3 million rupiahs. From a total demand of 1,000 items, only stores 188 items. How this company achieves that is that it only stores the inventory at 5 working day levels. Therefore, not all inventory for the entire monthly period of 30 days is purchased. They only purchase it at 5 working days. And afterwards, when the 5 working days is finished, they will repeat again in the next cycle. As we will explain it in this graph of cycles and schedules. This graph shows a 5 working day inventory level with a reordering point on the second day, which is remainder 3 working days inventory level, and reaches a safety stock of remainder 1 working day inventory level. So therefore, at day 1, the inventory starts at 5 working days, advancing to the second day, which has a remainder of 3 working days, which will begin the reordering point, and advancing through 2 days of order lead time up to the 5th day. At the 5th day, there is a remainder of 1 working day of inventory left, which is the safety stock, of which the supplier will have then delivered the items already, which will resets the inventory to a level of 5 working days and begins the whole cycle process all over again up to the 10th day, which will end the next cycle, and the in delivery of items will be delivered again, and resets the level again at day 11, which begins again at 5 working days. This process will repeat itself a total of several number of times during a period of 30-day monthly period. Moving on to layout and area costs, the company pays 6.5 million rupiahs a month for a total of 120 square meters of workshop area space, and also 150,000 rupiahs per month in storage maintenance costs. Out of the 120, the usage for inventory area is 20 square meters with two different categories of storage warehouse and storage racks. Therefore, 20 out of 120 times 6.5 million adds 150,000 of maintenance costs. We will total into 1,333,000 rupiahs per month for inventory storage costs. Now, with the ordering costs, the company has incurred ordering costs by third-party couriers, which cost 3,000 rupiahs per kilogram since they incur it based on item weight. For one cycle of 188 items, there are 131 kilograms of goods, which cost 393,000 rupiahs. And for a monthly usage, there are 725 kilograms of items, which cost 2.1 million rupiahs. Since the delivery fees are incurred based on item weight, it does not matter how much cycles the company make for each month. Therefore, by having more cycles, the company is able to maximize its delivery fees by delivering more items in smaller lots, but having it delivered more frequently. The buyer-supplier relationship, the company maintains 6 suppliers, which are chosen based on 3 criteria, which is reliability, distance, and the price of goods offered. The service level includes the price of goods, delivery and shipping fees, order lead time of maximum 2 days, goods must always be have in stock, and the commitment to have goods supplied at all times. This part describes the variability. The lower inventory levels minimize potential waste, overproduction, queues, and excess inventory, and also saves space and area which are potential waste products. Constant improvement also exposes potential defects or problems and minimizes the potential of overlooking possible problems. The reduction of lead time reduces excess timing, which reduces queues, and also customer orders can be executed faster. This section will describe the second case of Palmera Inti Motor, which does not apply just in time. The company also has demand forecast through previous demand trends, but instead the company purchases inventories in larger item pools, which covers the whole month of operation, purchased all together at the same time, and stock for the entire period of 30 days. Schedules are set at monthly periods, so therefore which reflects monthly demand as well. Bookkeeping is done twice, firstly at the beginning of the month to record and determine potential demand for inventory, and lastly at the end of the month to record actual usage. The current system is the company firstly sets demand forecast, then creates monthly demand inventory level prediction. Then afterwards the number is set, it orders to the supplier. Afterwards the goods are delivered. After it's delivered, it is stored for the entire monthly period and uses based on the demand. And the bookkeeping is done at the end of the period after the goods are used up. After the bookkeeping is done, the company will then orders inventory for the next period. So the inventory level for this company is set as 30 days, of which the company purchased the inventory required for the entire 30 days, which explains how the inventory gets so high of 69.6 million rupiahs with a total of 1,500 items. Because this number is very high because the company stores the inventory for the entire month and not divided it to several cycles. Therefore, the inventory level is proportionally inverted, with the first day of day 1 being the highest level, while the lowest level being at day 30. And therefore, this inventory schedule, since it is set at 30 days, it also reflects monthly demands, and it is not being tracked at all times, but rather relies on an estimated amount of usage on a monthly basis. This graph shows the inventory level of the company from day 1 up to day 30. From day 1, the company inventory level begins at 30 working days, and then will slowly decrease up to the 30th day with a remainder of 1 working day left. And this entire graph will reset at the beginning of the next period, beginning with the first day of the next period, and therefore it will continue on this trend. The layout and area costs, the company pays 12.5 million for 800 square meters, and of which it is used 95 square meters for inventory areas with dedicated storage of 49 square meters and temporary storage areas of 46 square meters, with a total cost of 1.7 million rupiah per month, including storage area maintenance cost of 250,000. As for inventory ordering, the company also uses third-party inventory delivery courier service, which incurs a cost by the item weight of 2,000 rupiah per kilogram. Out of the 1,500 items, the total item weight is 566 kilograms, which is incurred at 1.1 million rupiah. Since these items are incurred based on weight, it doesn't matter how much inventory cycles or delivery cycles that the company made within the period. Buyer-supplier relationship consists of 7 different suppliers, which are based on 3 criteria, which is supplier reliability, distance, and also the price of goods offered. The potential variabilities of the system is that the higher inventory levels exposes potential waste, which is in overproduction, queues, and excess inventory. The higher inventory level also adds potential waste in the form of larger storage areas needed and storage space needed, added by the usage of inefficient temporary storage areas. Minimum control and oversight with minimum bookkeeping hides potential defects and problems and the possible of overlooking potential problems. Also, the poor timing resulting in inventory being idle for longer periods of time, as described previously, the 30 days of inventory. The 30th day will be used on the 30th day, while as the ordering point has already been made from the first day. So therefore, some inventories will sat on idle for more than 20 or 30 days in storage, therefore resulting in inventory being idle and adding to storage area requirements, which is eventually larger. Within the first case of CV Central Auto, the first performance indicator of supplier reliability is achieved because the company has good relationships with suppliers and also reliable suppliers. Inventory layout is decentralized based on turnover rates. Inventory area is smaller. The inventory level is also lower with lower variabilities and potential problems. The inventory cycle and schedule is divided into cycle periods, which is shorter and also having a lower inventory level per cycle. Inventory ordering is achieved by setting an achieved orderly time set by buyer and supplier relationships, and also utilizing the most out of the same ordering costs, which results in a performance quality of focusing on lowering waste and also increasing throughput. While as in case B of Palmera Inti Motor, the performance indicator of supplier reliability is achieved with good relationships within suppliers and also having reliable suppliers, but the inventory layout is not achieved because it is decentralized based on negligence and also lack of control. The inventory area is also larger due to a higher inventory level and a larger inventory lot. The inventory level is bigger and also higher of 1,500 total items with a value of 69 million rupiah. A high potential variability of overproduction, oversupply, longer inventory cycles, inefficient storage areas, and poor timing. Inventory cycle schedules are longer in 30-day cycles for all item types. Inventory ordering achieves orderly time set by buyer supplier and also utilizing the most out of the same ordering costs. And the performance quality focuses on inventory system simplicity and easiness. However, by doing this, just-in-time inventory performance indicators are not achieved. This is the final chapter, which is conclusion of this research and also the recommendations. The first conclusion is the usage of just-in-time does enable a lowering of total inventory costs. The usage of just-in-time enables the detection on and overcoming of potential waste and variabilities within the system. The usage of just-in-time enables lower inventory levels in smaller lots, which leads the way in a beginning action towards cost reduction and minimizing potential waste. The research limitations are the limited availability of the respondents and the primary data. sources brings challenges and difficulties in gathering enough information and understanding the actual conditions of the companies. Second is that the research is being conducted during PPKM time of the COVID-19 pandemic second wave on July through August 2021, which in this case, very few companies would allow access towards the researcher, and therefore access is also very limited due to health and safety concerns. The third is that this research is limited to a small number of instances of automotive maintenance that have already previously applied just-in-time inventory management systems. It is difficult to find good examples of companies with the same scope and industry that have applied this method regularly and in a good manner. The recommendations that we can give is that, firstly, creating a field observation on research object for longer periods of time in order so that data can be analyzed in more depth and there can be more observations on the findings. Secondly, analyze more costs and sources of the creation of potential waste within the system, which can further back up the ways of implementing the change. Third is participate in the controlling process when alternative improvement solutions have been applied to the previously unimplemented cases. This goal is to prove whether the alternative solution of being lean and just in time can actually be applied and solve the problems within the company. Thank you for listening to this presentation. That's all from me. I hope you are having a good health and you enjoy this presentation.